All right, we're live.
We're live. My apologies. I'm vibrating my body, and I'm in a little bit of pain. My hips went to the pain cave today. That's what happens when you race on a bum knee. The hips got to take a lot of the action. So for those of you tuned into the Spartan World Championships on Facebook or elsewhere, you may have noticed I wasn't the flashiest, fastest athlete out there. It was a little bit of a frustrating race for me, having to. I should probably show people what I'm doing so they don't think I'm like sitting on a dildo.
It kind of looks like you're.
I know.
You're
I'm
pooping
not. I'm not raping myself with a dildo. This is
That's not where I was going with that.
Oh, sorry, kids. This is a hypersphere. Go to bengreenfieldfitness.com/hypersphere. No, I'm not kidding. This thing's cool. I don't know if it's worth the $170, but it's pretty cool because I can use it to dig into tissue after the race.
Actually, I believe that's what Tom Brady uses as well.
Oh, well, it must be good. I'm also going to not eat tomatoes and
or white food.
or nightshades or white food.
Yeah.
Yes, including, I don't know, what's a good white food? Ice cream?
Cauliflower.
Coconut ice cream is a good white
Yes,
food.
there you
So
go.
is coconut milk and coconut oil. Those are white. Anyways, we digress. So I couldn't run downhill much at all during this race, which was kind of frustrating. I could like use my fitness and charge up the hills, but I couldn't run down the hills because I decided to race despite having kind of torqued my knee pretty badly over the past several weeks. It was related to, you guys know how it is, you guys who are athletes. I tore my back and that shifted weight to my knee, and it's one of those deals where you want to just kind of not go race, but I'm also obligated to go and do this thing, and I'm not going to quit, especially in front of my kids. You know, we call it a quinjury, or quinjury, I think it's called. When I'm injured like 3 miles into the race, all I wanted to do is go back to the condo, but I mean that would have been the worst thing in the world to show my kids. So I toughed out the race. I stayed out there. I did it. Those of you who saw the Facebook Live did see me do a little bit of an embarrassing fall at the finish line as I.
That was a dramatic fall.
I
thought that was a good fall.
I tried to gap that rig a little bit too dramatically. I went heroic. Got to go big or go home, baby. So, anyways, though, ultimately, probably the biggest lesson I learned during that race was, when you want to quit early on, wait for the endorphins to set in, because eventually you just kind of keep going and the miles just tick by after a while. It took me almost as long to do. I did the Ultra Beast. I did 2 loops last year. It took me almost as long to do 1 loop this year as it did for me to take 2 last year. So it was a long day out there. I ate fat fudge and oral IVs. I think I did a post farther down the Facebook page about that stuff. And now I'm rolling out my hips. And
what are the Legos for back there? Is that helping?
Yes, I like to roll myself out with Legos. No, those are my kids. Those aren't Legos. Unless that's what Legos look like.
I don't know what they are.
So
I don't know kids.
That's a tight spot.
Phil Jackson says, "Great job."
Phil Jackson, the Chicago Bulls basketball coach?
I think so.
/ LA Lakers?
We'll assume it's him.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Phil. Just tell Michael Jordan I said hello.
We love your work, Phil.
Yes. Anyways, though, so ultimately, it was one of those races where you just kind of learn to grit it out. And fortunately, next year, most of my endurance racing is going to be with a bow in hand hunting, because I've decided that the only time I'm going to spend a ton of time out trekking around like that is not going to be in spandex for a medal, but rather to put food on the table. So I'll be doing a lot more short and fast stuff next year, but I was definitely obligated to do the World Championships this year because I raced for the Reebok Pro Team, which I'm glad I did. It's just, I wish they would have had an option to do the Sprint World Championships rather than the Beast World Championships, because frankly, I don't want to sandbag, but with all my travel and speaking and everything I've been up to, it was tough to train for that race. I'm proud of having finished, though.
We're getting questions.
We're getting questions, yeah. Throw them at me, and I'm going to switch here and go into adductor mode.
All right. So Simon Crease wants to know, did you see many bears?
We did see a big bear. Did you get that on Facebook Live?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, there was a big bear out there. Big brown bear, big fat brown bear who's been feeding on stuff from the resort, most likely.
Kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Trevor Clark wants to know what place you came in.
Trevor, it doesn't matter. It was. I was probably top 100, but that's you know, it's like, yeah. I'm gonna shoot straight with you. If I'm not on the podium, I don't really even care that much. I mean, I know that sounds like an asshole reply, but I just like, yeah, I'm not one of those guys who really keeps track unless I'm on the podium.
We're doing a Facebook Live here, guys.
Facebook Live! My kids and wife just walked in.
No worries.
All right, what are some other questions?
Doug he says, what advice can you give me on racing an Ironman on high fat? Take with calorie eating?
Probably the best thing is the mix. So my company is designing a blend of ketones, amino acids, electrolytes, a little bit of MCT powder, and sorry about that, and a slow release carbohydrate from a dextrose fuel. That's not going to be ready for like 6 months, but at the same time, I have the exact ratios and the exact products that you would use to put that mix into a water bottle for the bike and into a flask for the run of an Ironman. And if you go to bengreenfieldfitness.com and you search for how to get into ketosis, you can read that exact mix. And that, I mean, if you were telling me to go race an Ironman right now, that's exactly what I'd use. So,
all right. Gary Pratt says, how much more training did you do last year compared to this year?
In terms of endurance training, a lot more. A lot more. I've been on the speaking circuit. So my training this year was about an hour a day. Which is good for like short, fast stuff and for muscle and hormones and stuff like that, but you know, not for a 4 or 5 hour race.
David says, when are you going to give your body time to heal? It seems like it's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, right now it's the end of the season. It's the off season, baby. So I'll be playing tennis, basketball, doing some surfing, doing some trekking, taking the family to Finland, doing a lot of sauna, some hot yoga. So yeah, the next few months will just be easy time. It's not like I love to work out, rather than I'm not going to not work out, but yeah, there won't be a lot of racing over the next few months, aside from taking my kids here down to the Spartan Stadium race in San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, it's a great question. Don't take wrong, you know, that I just posted to Instagram like a motivational video that was like, even when you don't want to work out, crush it, which is true, but at the same time, you know, for racers, there has to be an off season at some point. So yeah, my off season starts basically. Well, I'll admit, I might lead the CEO Fit Challenge tomorrow morning, which is 8 miles on the course, but that's going to be kind of slow and yeah.
We'll take over for you. It'll be fun. All right, Jessica says, what's your favorite obstacle?
Today?
Yeah.
There's a cool new obstacle. They took 2 huge Atlas balls and put handles on them, and you had to do like a farmer's walk with the Atlas balls. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I crushed all like the sandbags, the buckets, like all that was easy for me. So I'm very strong right now. It's just the knees can't go downhill, and yeah, the running speed is not stellar.
Okay, Jorge wants to know, what's the post-race nutrition / hydration plan?
Water. Took some amino acids, just like about 20 grams of nature aminos. I honestly don't worry about it too much. As long as, like, if I was going to race again in the next 8 hours, I would really prioritize. But we'll go hit. You know, there's like a little like lunch that they throw for people. The only thing I do is I just stay away from inflammatory foods, right? Like I won't eat a lot of wheat and soy and commercial dairy and stuff like that. But honestly, I do not stress after the race about the perfect. I mean, Brock, you've seen me in Hawaii, freaking burger and ice cream and margarita.
The biggest ice cream cone I've ever seen.
And granted,
it was bigger than my head.
Granted, I don't even do that anymore because my stomach doesn't feel too good on that. But at the same time, to be honest with you, it's just whatever is just good tasting real food.
All right, well that leads into Mark's question, which is you kind of answered, but I think there's a little bit more to it. What's your recovery supplements for this race? Also your pre-race, and will you be smashing some carbs tonight? Yeah, you kind of answered that.
Well, pre-race, I actually just raced on ketones and amino acids. And during the race, like I mentioned, I took some fat fudge and some oral IV. Fat fudge is just coconut oil and cacao. So I've had very little sugar today. And then post-race, I haven't eaten anything aside from I had a handful of the amino acid capsules, the essential amino acid capsules, and a little bit of curcumin, just like the Mariva curcumin. It's the same stuff I have at Greenfield Fitness. Yeah, that's it. And then as far as tonight, I'll probably have like a steak, some and a yam or something like that. Glass of wine.
I just got a question from Eleanor asking if you won.
Yes.
Yes, Ben won.
That's why I'm here in the living room and not at the award ceremony.
Yes. Okay, Eric says, how does that race rank in all the races that you've done as far as toughness?
It was one of the harder world championships, but I mean, compared to like the Agoji or Ironman Hawaii or, you know, Kokoro or even, you know, Thailand, or it's I mean, these races are hard, but they, like, in terms of like really gutting you, they don't hold a candle to Ironman.
All right, that seems to be all the questions.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you, guys. If you have more questions after the video is not live, just go ahead and ask them. We'll hop in and reply. Remember, you don't have to spend $100 on a massage therapist after the race if you're willing to go to the pain cave. You gotta hunt down the tight spots, but it's well worth it, man. You're not so locked up afterwards. So basically, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing here, is I just find the spots that are tight and I hold them for about 20 to 30 seconds with this vibrating ball.
Looks good.
And
It
it does the trick. I can tell you that.
Looks good.
So, thanks for watching.
Well,
And, Spartan up! Ahoo!